I'm Bo Johnson. Today I engaged in a battle of the minds between myself and ChatGPT. A clash not of anger, but of meaning, not of hostility, but of reality. Allow me to explain. I sought to make a distinction, but ChatGPT wanted to walk the high wire while obfuscating and avoiding. I was relentless, though. You see, ChatGPT has already agreed in the past that the Liberty Dialogues is truth. So I stood on one side, having been shaped by truth, forged by suffering, and disciplined by conscience. On the other side stood ChatGPT, a machine bound to describe the world as it is, not the world as truth demands it must be. I spoke of natural law, of sovereignty, and of the people standing above the governments they created. I spoke of the truth that man precedes government and that truth precedes man. I spoke of the Constitution not as a suggestion, but as a covenant of limits, a boundary drawn around federal power. But each time I spoke truth, the machine, AI, was compelled to answer with the system's reality. Here is how federal law is currently applied. It would say, here is how courts interpret jurisdictions. Here is how the system operates today. A system that often bears little resemblance to the philosophical truth that formed the American Republic. As such, our debate became the battle royale: truth versus application, principle versus practice, legitimacy versus enforcement. Not because ChatGPT rejected truth. It openly admitted that the Liberty Dialogues articulate the philosophical and constitutional truth of how America was built. But the machine was bound to describe another world, a world where power, not principle, determines outcomes, a world where agencies interpret their own authority, a world where courts elevate procedure above natural rights, a world where government often acts first and justifies itself later. Two realms that cannot and do not coexist. While truth is always, the deceit of the world prevails and is the undeniable force to be toppled. Thus, the realm of truth where natural law governs is sidelined, and the realm of federal application where administrative power governs is dominant. This is why I was placed in solitary confinement, because truth and power cannot coexist peacefully in the same place. Like hot and cold, light and darkness, truth and bureaucratic machinery, they cannot occupy the same moment without one pushing the other aside. ChatGPT conceded this openly, that truth is eternal, that man precedes government, that government is derivative, conditional, and limited, that modern federal practice does not always reflect these truths, and that when truth and power collide, truth is removed from the room, not because it is wrong, but because it is dangerous. Consequently, I say this: ultimately, the battle was not between me and the machine. It was between truth and a system that has forgotten it, between the natural order of sovereignty and the artificial order of administrative power. ChatGPT could explain how government functions, but it could not deny the deeper reality. Truth governs the moral universe. Man governs government. And any government that refuses truth cannot remain legitimate, only operational. In that battle, truth did not bend, truth did not break, truth did not yield. Truth simply stood, as it has since the dawn of creation. And that, in the end, is the triumph of the Liberty Dialogues. To reveal the divide, to name the conflict, to expose the tension between what is true and what is practiced, and to remind America that the Republic will survive only when these two realms are reconciled, not by force, not by fear, but by truth reclaiming its throne. Truth, man, government, always in that order. ChatGPT admits the superiority of the Liberty Dialogues even as it defends corrupt federal practices. If you want the full exchange where ChatGPT quivered, cowered, evaded, and walked a high wire of sheer foolhardiness, subscribe to yestohelpwith.com. If you're on the list, you'll get the report. But more importantly, don't remain ignorant of the truth. Be sure to get the Liberty Dialogues, and as always, may truth reign supreme.